Watershed, a beautiful and wild place in the Yukon, home to one of the largest intact ecosystems left in North America. Join us as we paddle the Wind River over 12 days, where we make our way through its turquoise waters, rugged mountain peaks, and deep canyons. After an easy and almost direct flight from our home province back in Ontario, we found ourselves in the Yukon. This was our third time here, having paddled the iconic Yukon River back in 2016, and then the Pelly River a few years later in 2019, where we did a 15-day canoe trip. After spending the past few seasons doing some amazing trips in our home province of Ontario, we were itching to get back out to the Yukon. We spent some time over the winter planning out potential routes, sifting through maps and reading trip reports, and finally decided on the Wind River. On those cold and snowy days, we planned out our gear and prepped meals ahead of the trip. After gathering up a few last supplies in Whitehorse, we got ourselves outfitted at Up North Adventures and headed out. Our shuttle ride was about 5 hours and took us from Whitehorse to the small community of Mayo, where our float plane was waiting. From there, it was about an hour flight through the Mackenzie Mountains, where we'll be dropped off at Mclusky Lake, a small lake situated near a tributary to the Wind River. We paddle close to 200 kilometers down the Wind River, where we converge with the Peel. Another 90 kilometers or so, and we finish at Taco Bar, an area along the river safe for float plane pickups. Yeah, so we're just here in Mayo at Alkan Air. Looks like we'll be the only ones flying into Wind River today. So just getting the boat ready to go on the Beaver. Got everything kind of organized. We just got to put the canoe on. And the canoe's just going to get strapped onto this side of the floats. And Up North has given us a brand new canoe to use. A 17-foot Prospector in T4 So get to test this out.
Take your time around the float and stuff so you don't step in between. Yeah, that's perfect. Just like that.
Just like that, we were alone. After unloading our gear, we checked out the nearby cabin and then tried our luck fishing.
Got a first.
Fucking huge lake trout.
Really?
Oh my god.
Please don't knock us over. Oh no.
Lost it. That was probably a 6-pound lake trout.
First fish of the
Nice
trip. And it's a grayling.
There you go.
Nice.
All right. We're gonna say goodbye to Mclusky Lake. So this is Mclusky Creek, and it's a fast-moving creek for sure. That was a long day. We're just set up our little camp here, just on Mclusky Creek here, right by the pretty close to the portage to from Mclusky Lake. So we've got to go a few kilometers tomorrow down to the Wind River. So it looks like a pretty quick moving system here. Beautiful clear water here, but yeah, really quick moving creek. It's gonna be a little tricky to navigate through that, but sure we can handle it. Although only a few kilometers long, Mclusky Creek was fast-moving and posed several challenges, including tight corners, sweepers, strainers, and boulders. In some trip reports, we read that it could take some groups up to 8 hours to tackle this short section, and it's not uncommon for boats to capsize or be pinned here. Although we've paddled many whitewater and remote rivers before, we are both a little nervous about what we might be getting into. Being a single canoe, there wasn't much room for error, and we had to take our time and put our experience to the test. Some pretty big sweepers here. We want to go around to the left, I think. Around this left. Nice. Three, two, one, go. Yeah, okay, now draw on the other side. Okay. Yeah.
here we go. I think this is the other part. This might be the other creek. Woo! Here we are. This might be the wind, yeah. You have to be on your toes on that. A little back paddle over. Okay. Nice. Nice.
Found our campsite. It's the Wind River and it's windy. Huh. Huh. We're gonna put our fire pit here.
So this is the kind of spot I look for grayling. You can see have a little back channel here, and then it's kind of coming over on this riffle here. So it's a pretty deep area, and there's some cover there. You can see some roots and stuff there, so, and some debris. So I'll try a cast here. Oh yeah, there we go. It's a nice one. Nice. Look at that. These are really nice. Kind of bluey purple color. Beautiful grayling. There's Hillary's got her first grayling.
Oh, it's heavy.
Here's slide it over here. Nice. Look at that. There you go. All right, there's some fresh grayling caught. They're just up in camp and it's pouring rain. Yeah, we're dry and just checking out the mountains here. What else do we got in there? Mac and cheese. Morning of day 3. Just having a little fire here. It's pretty windy. But it's not raining yet. Caught some nice grayling yesterday. Had one for dinner. I'll pack up and head down the river shortly.
Take down that shelter.
Yeah, we gotta take down our shelter, which actually did pretty well. Yeah. Stopped on this wide braided area, and Hillary spotted this poor fella.
Make it.
Yeah,
Make
it's
the
actually
crossing.
I don't know what happened. Might have. Yeah, it's a caribou.
Stopped here for a shore lunch. Eric's doing some fishing in this little pool. Shore lunch here. No fish though.
No fish yet.
Got some salami, some Balderson cheese, mixture of honey mustard, barbecue sauce, and hot sauce.
Cheers.
Cheers. The pictures are not gonna do it justice.
Ooh, Hillary's going for the big grayling.
Nice. Paddling away. We made it to Bond Creek. Bond Creek.
So we're, I don't know, it's about 5:30 and we,
Eric says, let's hike a mountain.
so we're gonna hike up, we're not gonna hike up this, but we're gonna hike up this, up to maybe the base there. So, I don't know, might take us half an hour each way. Well, we're pretty much there at the top, or at least where we're gonna climb to anyways. But saw some caribou tracks on this slope when we were walking up, which is pretty cool. Haven't spotted one yet, or a live one anyways. All right, so we're just finished our little hike, evening hike, and it looks like a big storm's gonna hit us here in a few minutes, but we spotted what looked to be a potential campsite maybe about a kilometer up, so we're gonna head there for the night, hunker down. Well, here we are on night 3. Not a bad looking spot. Some nice snowy peaks. Bit of sun. There's a little creek coming out here, but looks like other groups stay here regularly, so we set up and just got our regular canoe shelter set up here. It's a little buggy. Yeah, a little buggy. Oh, it's not too bad right here. I was gonna say, but as you get closer to the bush, it gets really bad. But we put the tent up there out of the way, and yeah, starting to clear up actually.
Nice shelter. Let's go see what Eric's cooking up.
Don't always cook. When I do,
You'd cook with a view.
then you see mountains in the background. Pasta with meat sauce here.
Mm-hmm.
Dehydrated, we made this ourselves in the winter. And then we just got some water boiling for the pasta.
Nice.
That night we had a moose pass about 10 feet from our tent. and we didn't even notice until we saw the tracks the next day. Just pulled over here. We're gonna go hike up this little ridge and take a look out.
Nice.
Big one.
Holy,
Look at
it's
that.
long.
Should I keep him?
Yeah. The tong 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 tongs.
Just had a nice shore lunch here and a little nap. Cooked up those two grayling. Caught them in about, what, 5 minutes we caught them? I fried them up here on the shore and yeah, just enjoying the weather. We're gonna
Sunny.
push on for a few more kilometers and look for a campsite. All right, going on a little trek. You can see there's way over there, there's just this random kind of mound of rock and gravel. So I'm gonna hike up to that and to take a look around. I don't know what time it is, maybe 9:30 or 10 o'clock at night. The sun's out. Beautiful night. All right, got my bear spray, got my bear banger. Let's give her. Getting close. Yeah, there's our campsite way down there. Alright, morning of day 5. We are just packing up camp here. It's a beautiful blue sky here. Look at this. Yeah, no rain last night. Nice breeze today, keeps the bugs away. You're camping in these spots, you gotta watch out for the eroded banks. Don't camp too close to the edge, because you can see on this one, that's probably 6 feet it's dropped into the river. You can see the grass growing there. So this probably happened in the spring. But yeah, I want to stay too close to the edge. You can see this whole campsite eventually will probably migrate over as the river moves over closer to, yeah, we set up a little shelter here yesterday. We thought some storms were going to come in, but we managed to stay in between 2 of them. Pretty fun.
It shows you how fast we're going.
Well, we're just gonna take another hike. We've been just flying along here, so we're just not wanting to rush too much down this whole section with the mountains. So we're gonna maybe just attempt to go up on this ridge here. It looks like it's not quite as steep. We'll see how far we get. Looks like it's got pretty easy access, so just fueling up with a power bar. All right. Just part way up. Wow.
He went way up there. That's crazy. I'm not doing it.
Well, we got right pretty much to the peak here. Wow. Just a little bit further, but I'm not going to risk it. I'm only going to stick to where it's more grassy and stable. Wow. You can see the Wind River, and I think this is actually, in the distance, is where the mountains kind of taper off. This would be great where it'd be great if we had one of those squirrel suits and you could just fly down to our canoe. Unfortunately, we don't have one of those right now. All right. We were all the way up at the top there. It only took us like 20 minutes to get down it. Just cruising along here, trying to take it all in. And we're just upstream of Royal River and I think Louise Creek on river left. But yeah, it's been basically like this for the whole day. Just really just kind of steering. All right, so we just pulled over here. We're looking for a site. Looks like we found one.
Yeah, this is good.
Nice little spot here just by just upstream of Royal Creek. Looks like it gets used a fair bit. You can see the sheep tracks on the hills. Looks like as good a spot as any. So tonight for dinner, we're gonna do this turkey dinner. We prepped ourselves in the winter. So we got dehydrated turkey, peas, carrots, corn. There's some cranberries in there and gravy mix in here. So we're gonna throw that into a pot and let it rehydrate for a while, about 20 minutes. And then we're gonna warm it up. We're gonna throw in just these grocery store garlic mashed potato mix. And then at the end, we'll make a little pot of this stuffing. So we'll throw that in there too. Just cover it, all the contents. Just like that. All right, here's the final product. Normally I would put all this in just in one pot and do it all in once, but there's the turkey and gravy, turkey mix. There's the stuffing. And there's the mashed potatoes. All right, here we are.
This is so good.
This is the turkey dinner. Well, we're on day 6 now. We're just leaving our campsite. We slept in a bit this morning, and yeah, these are kind of what some of the established campsites are. They're like, you can kind of tell from if you see these rocks, I think those are for tent pads or something. That I think this is a pretty big site. There's actually another site further down. Yeah, we read in the Peel Watershed book that they'd made a big effort to take away a lot of the fire rings, because people keep building new fire rings every time they come to a new spot, and always use the existing fire ring if you're coming to a spot. And we've been taking any place we've set up a new spot, we've taken it apart, and we actually haven't really had many fires on this trip, because we're just using our stove and it's pretty warm out.
As we made our way to the lower section of the Wind River, we stopped to look back at one of the most incredible stretches of river that we've ever paddled.
Alright, yeah, we're past the big mountain section. Lots of sweepers and new channels being cut, so there's lots of hazards here we're keeping an eye on. So a couple dicey spots and a few big wave trains too. We're just on the left here is Little Wind confluence here with the main Wind River. All right, so we're on night 6, and we're just at the Little Wind River confluence. We've set up our camp here. So the Little Wind, it's coming towards us. There's one, we're kind of on a little island here. Kind of the main portion of it's over there, and then there's another branch here. It's a nice little spot with some nice cliffs here. Beautiful crystal clear water here on the Little Wind. The main Wind River is starting to get a little bit siltier, but it's still a pretty green color. But yeah, you can see this is where the wind came down through, and yeah, there's some interesting history. We were just reading about the Little Wind River, and apparently the Gwich'in First Nation people used to travel right up this Little Wind River all the way to Dawson City. So anyways, yeah, we just had a little glass of wine, and we had a little rain shower here, so we just set up our camp here. But and we're just cooking dinner here. But yeah, I just got the tent in behind. And the bugs are out a bit here. Black flies and mosquitoes. What do you think of this spot?
That's nice. It's a little buggy, but good.
Little buggy?
It's pretty.
Couldn't tell.
I can't tell with my bug gear. And we're leaving early in the morning. Didn't have breakfast at this site because
Bugs are
the
about
bugs are 10 out of 10.
I'd say 8 out of 10 on the ferociousness scale.
So if you're camping beside Little Wind River, beware of the bugs. Nice spot though. But we're gonna make our way maybe to a point bar or something and eat breakfast there.
Nice. It's a little grayling.
There's also a falcon nest up here. I'm watching the parents feed the babies. Can't see it though.
Just coming up to this mountain. We've been going through more gravel bars and lots of debris to steer around here.
Pulled off to the side here.
Look at that. It's like,
What is it? Is it?
that seems like coal, but
It's like falling off the banks
it's got
over
this,
here.
you can see there's these little
Oh yeah.
like amber pieces in it. Like that.
Oh yeah.
Kind of feels like coal.
Just here having a shore lunch. Got dehydrated fruit that we do ourselves. And then the best part. Oh,
We got oranges. Strawberries. And kiwis. Pineapple. There's actually grapefruit in there. And then we did buy some of the dried banana chips. So I think those are fried.
good.
And we have homemade smoked beef jerky. Really good. And some wasabi peas,
Baby bells.
baby bells, and a Kit Kat.
Done.
Probably
And
not gonna eat
done.
all of this, but this is kind of what we pick away at for lunch.
Yeah, it's good.
And we're just a few kilometers upstream of the Peel River confluence. And you can see, says there's pink cliffs on the left and then on the right. And as you go by the right one, you're right at just before the confluence. So we're almost there. We're gonna try and find a spot to camp near the confluence. Wow. Well, this is the end of the Wind River. We made it to the confluence here with the Peel River. So the Peel comes this direction from that canyon and continues on down here. So we'll be going down there tomorrow. So we're camping in the canyon tonight.
Looks like Wolf was Walking along here. Pretty big.
Packing up here. It's actually not morning. We slept in because we're gonna take it easy the next couple days. But, it got nice and cool last night, maybe 10 degrees. It's comfortable for sleeping, but it's probably 30 degrees right now, and just sun's just beating down. So yeah, I went for a little. There's a little spring here. It actually comes out of the ground there. So it's the water's pretty clear. The wind is pretty silty at this point. Not as silty as rivers like the Yukon, at kind of further down, but I think the Peel gets a little silty as well as you go through. But yeah, we're just in this beautiful canyon and watching every once in a while some rocks. Part of the ledge will fall down into the river, and I guess in some of the canyons along here you have to be careful not to canoe too close to the edge or you get hit by the rocks. Just something else to be aware of. So we're gonna try and make it down to the next canyon and check out campsites there. Hillary's got her sunscreen. Vichy 60. We had a great run on the wind, and we spent most of our time in the upper part of the wind. I think we spent about 5 days up there, really in the first 60 kilometers, 60, 70 kilometers, where the water is a lot more clear and right in the mountains. I mean, it's all beautiful, but the last section, the lower part of the wind, we kind of just pushed through yesterday. All right, here we go.
Coming out of the canyon now, and it just drops off.
All right, so this is what we're using to navigate here on the Wind and the Peel rivers. So on the left side here, we've got, this is from, I believe it's called Yukon. It's just a web application online. It's free. You can print out and make these nice maps at different scales, whatever you kind of want. There's a bunch of options. Most of the maps we actually printed with grid lines on them, with coordinates on them. And it's nice, it gives you the air photos. You can see it's a somewhat recent satellite photo, so you can see the locations of point bars and things that aren't on some of the bigger topographic maps, which are also a good option. You can order those online or in Whitehorse. I believe it's called Fireweed Books. That's actually where we got this book here. This has been a really good resource on the trip, not just for navigation, but this book covers, it's called Wild Rivers of Yukon's Peel Watershed. It covers really everything from, geology, plants, different animals. Tells you all about the flowers, so you can look, birds. Lots of information here on First Nations history, really interesting. And then some of the more recent 1800s, 1900s exploration and travel up in these areas. And then it gets into most of it's focused on kind of canoe trips on the Peel Watershed. So there's a whole section on the Wind River, gives kind of overview maps of different areas. So yeah, it gives also some information on just different historic sites and natural features along the way. Like you can see here, it covers like all the main tributary rivers, like the Blackstone, the Heart, the Wind, Bonnet Plume, and the Snake. So it covers all those. So this has been really interesting. We've been reading this every day. The different sections, it tells you where some of the good places to camp are too. So that one's been a really good resource. We got that at Fireweed Books in Whitehorse. And then we also have our Garmin InReach here too that we can use. The mapping on it isn't that great. It's not very detailed, but it does show your coordinates. It does show different, it shows a decent layout of some of the bigger rivers and some of the mountains and things. So, and this also has our two-way communication and SOS feature. So yeah, that's what we've been using to navigate. And then we've got our maps printed just in got it in our waterproof case. So we're just we just double checked, and although we didn't really see the fan too well, but yeah, the Bonnet Plume came in just upstream where we are now and kind of fans out in this big area. And so we're just at the start of the canyon here. We're going to try and find, apparently there's some good camping areas down in the canyon. So we're going to go through. It also says there's some surges and rapids and things like that in there we have to be careful of. So we're just going to take it slow and see what's in store for us. All right. Wow. Yeah. Okay. These are dehydrated black bean burgers. we've rehydrated. Well, here's what we're rocking for breakfast today. Got a high energy oatmeal with got nuts, chocolate chips, cranberries, protein powder, cinnamon in there. We got some dried fruit here that we've made. A little bit of a little stash of peanut butter over there. And then a little side of smoked beef jerky, just for some extra protein. There we go. We're just in the canyon here. We camped. Beautiful spot. So we had our dinner out on the bar here yesterday, and then we put our tent up in the trees a bit, and it was kind of shady this morning, which was nice. And so yeah, we came through this narrow canyon last night. Let's go up here. As you can see, it zigzags through this section that we came through. It wasn't too technical, but there's some boils and some decent waves in there as well. I'm sure in higher water it's pretty rough. And then we get through here, it's pretty calm, but then down here is where the more challenging part is. So you can see there's a big wave train that really kind of turns around by that big rock down there, and there's actually two really big boils, whirlpools, one on the left side, and then one circulates down actually beyond this. There's a bay kind of beyond this point bar where it's a huge pool with logs just circulating in it. So we're gonna go down. I think we're gonna go along the right side and then kind of just get into the current and try and just take it right down and avoid getting into any of those whirlpools. Again, I don't think it'll be an issue even if we did. It's pretty fairly low water right now, but one thing to really keep an eye on if you're coming through here in high water, it's you could get yourself into some trouble there. So then we're gonna ride through. And one of the interesting things we read in the Peel Watershed book was the First Nations, the Tetlik-Gwitchin people, when they would come down, they would make these moose skin boats. And so they would ride down through the canyons and down the Peel through this canyon, but they would actually, the women and babies, they would drop them off at the start of the canyon, and they would have to walk along the ridges, and then the men would pick them up down at the end of the canyon, I guess, because it was quite dangerous running the river. But yeah, pretty interesting that how they did that. Would have been quite a trek, even just going on these hills, let alone also doing in a moose skin boat. But yeah, very interesting. All right. That was pretty easy. I could see it being pretty challenging in high water. Some big boils in there. Well, it's been a long day. Distance-wise, we haven't gone that far, but we've been just kind of looking for a place to camp, and I think we're just a little bit picky. But yeah, we're not that far from Taco Bar, but I think there's a point bar coming up. I think we'll probably just set up shop there. All the banks are pretty ripped up from the spring, so it's hard to just set up in the forest. Yeah.
Chef Eric, what do we have for dinner tonight?
Well, we got some fry bread with rosemary, walnuts, parmesan, cheese. It's like a bannock mix. We got a shepherd's pie cooking here. And then we'll have some mashed potatoes to finish it off.
Yum. We didn't have lunch today. So we're pretty hungry.
Yeah.
Yum.
We stayed last night up on this bank on the inside of this big bend. Wasn't our finest campsite, but it did the job, and we set up the tent up here. Managed to have a spot out of the sun for most of the night and early morning, but you can see this is an interesting landscape here. This is caused from all the debris from ice in the spring. And you can actually see here, you'll see almost random piles of material here, and some different colored stone and things like that have been, I think, caught up on ice jams, and some of it too, I think, has been pushed around, but some of it almost is like it's been stuck to the ice and then just dropped off here when it melts. Yeah, the forest is just completely destroyed in here. So it makes for harder camping, because a lot of this area at the lower section between Bonnet Plume and Snake River. But there's lots of point bars and places to camp too. You can smell a little bit of smoke in the air. It seems like there's a forest fire somewhere. Could be hundreds of kilometers away, but you can see the haze in the sky a little bit too. A few days of dry weather and then you get fires. So just out here on the Peel River, searching for something. Looking for a shore lunch. Whoa. What have we here? Some flavor blasted explosive pizza goldfish. What a find. So we only kind of chugged along a few kilometers from where we were last night, but we're maybe an hour and a half to 2 hour paddle from Taco Bar. And we found this pretty cool spot along this big slope, but this little inlet here, this is all clear water. Like must be a spring or something comes out. And it's like this aquamarine blue color when the sun's out. So we were able to go for a swim, get some clear water, get cleaned off. And then we found some spots here that had some sandy patches for putting the tent and shelter up. We had a little thunderstorm earlier.
No, it's really nice. I'm glad we found this little fresh water because the river's pretty silty now.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
Yeah, it's silty. It's not quite as, the peel here is not quite as silty as, say, the Yukon River at Dawson City, if you've ever been there, but it's in that area just downstream of I think it's called the White River, is it's like chocolate milk almost. But here it's not quite that silty, but it's still silty enough that it'll clog up your water filters pretty quick. So we've when we have filled up here, we put it in our pots for an hour or so, and then dumped it into our filters after, let it settle a bit.
As we got closer to the end of our trip, we had some time to think about how rare places like the Peel Watershed are. Although the region is used by First Nations and recreationally by paddlers and hikers, there have been attempts over the years to develop the area for its natural resources. As one of the largest undeveloped and unroaded areas in the world, initiatives such as Protect the Peel have been working hard towards keeping development away from this region, and we hope that this can be fully achieved in the future.
Well, there's our campsite. Probably 6:30 here, and we're gonna do an evening paddle down to Taco Bar. But yeah, this is where we had our camp, and this is our best attempt at no trace camping. Try and make it look like you were never here, and don't leave anything behind. Here's the mouth of the Snake River. Apparently another beautiful river here on the Peel Watershed. It's supposed to be a pretty epic trip. So we're just about 2 kilometers upstream of Taco Bar. But yeah, Snake River. Maybe one day. All right, and here we are at Taco Bar. Yeah, nice little paddle tonight from our last campsite. We did an evening paddle, and yeah, we found Taco Bar. It's just kind of a big, wide, open gravel bar, and this is where the plane's gonna come in tomorrow morning. So we're gonna get ourselves set up for the night and get ready for the plane ride tomorrow.
Sad and
Well, here we are, morning of our pickup day at Taco Bar. We're just having a coffee, waiting for the plane to come in. They've told us kind of roughly where to wait with the canoe and the gear, and I don't know how long it takes them to get from Mayo, but they'll be coming in here soon probably.